Hey, what's going on everyone? Misha Wilson here and welcome to today's video. Now in today's video, I have something really special planned for you again, where we're actually going to be giving you free access to another event recording and something that I know will absolutely change your life if you listen to it, learn from it, and then most importantly, of course, take action with it. So if you've been paying attention, you know that we've been giving you some of these free event recordings, really recordings that people paid thousands of dollars to get in the first place, yours 100% free, and this recording is no different. All right, so within this recording, I'm actually going to be walking you through how to program your subconscious mind to work for you in your business, to create wealth, to attract success, to ultimately make more money versus against you. All right, so while I know it can sound cliche and while so many people talk about it all the time, the truth of the matter is that if you have the wrong mindset, but all the right tactics and all the right strategies, you will never create success. Where if you have the right mindset and you don't even necessarily have the right tactics or the right strategies, with the right mindset, ultimately, you will find the right tactics, you will discover the right strategies, you will figure out a way to take the right actions because you have the right solution-oriented mindset and mindset that is conducive for attracting success and attracting wealth. And that's exactly what I'm going to break down here today in this video. So as always, if you get value, don't forget to let me know in the comments section below what your biggest takeaway is from this video. And don't forget to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell icon notification button so that you're notified when I do more videos just like this. With that said, let's go ahead and dive right in.
Welcome to the Misha Wilson Show, where we show you how to create massive success online so you can enjoy the lifestyle of your wildest dreams.
So it is my honor, it is my pleasure, it is my privilege to bring to the stage the one and only Misha Wilson.
Thank you so much. Yay. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you, Lysandra. Congratulations. You're an inspiration. And just to reinforce what she just mentioned, the strategies and the tactics that we share with you at these events and throughout all of our training can help you to build any kind of business you want to go ahead and grow. If you want to use sand as training wheels, that's completely and totally fine. But at the end of the day, you can build any kind of business you want to build, leveraging these principles and leveraging these strategies. And who here has gotten a ton of value out of what you've learned so far here today? Yeah? What about back here? Anybody? Yeah? There you go. Awesome. Aren't these speakers smart? Yeah? I look at Fernie, I'm like, holy shit, I wish I was as smart as Fernie. The truth is that, you know, at the end of the day, you don't need everything when you first get started. I just want to reinforce that a couple of different times here. I'm really good at a few different things, and that's it. I've found my area of strength. I've found where I excel. I can create an offer well. I can host a webinar pretty well. I can do a few things really well, and I focus my efforts on those few things. And because I've dialed in those few things, I had no clue what Fernie was talking about when he was talking about Facebook ads. But now if I want to run Facebook ads, I can go find people and hire people to run my Facebook ads for me when that's necessary. So I want to reinforce that while it's amazing value, amazing content, understand you don't need everything when you're first getting started. And can we bring my volume down just a tiny bit? I'm blowing out my own eardrums. Awesome. So I want to get into something here. This is a segment that I host at every single live event because what have all the speakers so far been training on and teaching on, really when it comes to just general principles? What will these principles allow you to do? Sell? Any other ideas? Freedom? Generate leads? I would argue that they'd help you to build a business, right? Now, what's the number one goal in building a business? What's the number one duty of owning a business? To be profitable. Because guess what happens if you're not profitable? You lose your business. And guess what happens when you lose your business? you lose your ability to impact people. I'm all for impact. I'm all for helping as many people as humanly possible, but you have to have profit at the forefront of your mind. You have to have the finances at the forefront of your mind, and you have to, for lack of a better term, have money at the forefront of your mind. Because if you don't, you'll take your foot or you'll take your eye off the road, you'll end up making a mistake, and at the end of the day, you'll run out of it. When you run out of it, you go out of business. So really at a core level, what these guys are teaching to do is how to make money, right? And who here likes making money? Who here likes money? Are we sure? Are you sure? Because I would argue that a lot of you like money consciously, but subconsciously there might be some stuff in there around money that's kind of holding a few of you back. And if we don't get rid of the subconscious things that are holding you back, what's going to happen? Your conscious mind can't do anything to help you move forward. How many hours per day do most of you, let's say for average, most of you invest 4 hours per day in your business, right? You're working on, not 8 hours a day, not a full-time basis, 4 hours per day. So your conscious mind is at work trying to build a business to be profitable for 4 hours per day. Guess how many hours per day your subconscious mind is working? 24. So if your subconscious mind has some issues and blocks around money, and your conscious mind is working 4 hours a day, while your subconscious mind is working 24 hours per day, which part of your mind is going to win? And that's not even taking into account the fact that your subconscious mind is infinitely more powerful than your conscious mind. And so you have to be aware and understanding of the fact that if you don't get rid of your money mindset blocks, and if you don't get rid of the obstacles that are holding you back when it comes to money mindset, none of the tactics, none of the strategies, none of the principles, no matter what kind of business you're trying to build, no matter what we give you, I could give you a metaphorical Ferrari, and you would drive it off a cliff, right? Because your subconscious mind, the wiring behind it, is messed up. So what I want to ask you is, what blocks do you have about money? I want to spend some time here and identify the blocks that you have about money and help you to overcome them, so when you overcome them, you can leverage everything that we've taught you here and will continue to teach you and what you'll continue to discover here at the event moving forward. Does that sound good? Yes. All right, so the first question I would ask is this: how were you conditioned growing up? How are you conditioned every single day by society? Take some to buy? Probably yes. Money is the root of all evil. Money doesn't grow on trees. And there's no right answer here. I'm just kind of asking the question so you can then look at the question and look at different situations that you might be affected in a certain way. And I'll go ahead and share some examples as well that are some of the most common ones that most of our students are actually affected by. You have to understand that how you are today, how you operate today, who you are today, your identity today is a result of what? Your upbringing, your past, usually what happened to you as a child, right? Now, is it fair that when something happened as a child and you had no clue what was really happening, you've built this whole story and this whole identity based around that? Do you feel like that's fair? Yet still, it's happened. That's how the mind works. And so you need to be aware of that. You need to overcome it. How many people have heard money does not equal happiness? Yes? We got half the room that's honest. How many people have heard money does not equal happiness? Because everyone has heard it. That's, it's fine. Money doesn't equal happiness. But here's my argument. Are you going to be more happy with less money? No. Are you going to be more happy if you're struggling to pay the bills? No. Are you going to be more happy if you're stressed out at the end of the month about paying the bills? Are you going to be more happy if you can't go out to the restaurant that you want to go out to with your date and your spouse and your loved one, the once per week? No. Money is simply a means to an end. It's not giving you happiness, but having less of it doesn't mean that you're going to be more happy. So you have to break that association association mentally. Who here has heard that family is more important than money? Yes. And I wholeheartedly agree that family is more important than money. Family first, that's the saying. But when we say family is more important than money, what does that kind of mean? What does that kind of imply? It implies that A, you need one or the other, and B, it has a negative energy about it, all right? What if you could have an amazing family life and have a lot of money? What if your family could have all the financial resources that they need because you make a lot of money? Would they be better or would they be worse? Better, right? What if you could make a lot of money and still have time to spend with your family? How many people are freaked out? God, if I make a lot of money and I'm successful, I'll have no time to spend with my family. That's a fear that I've had working with students. Not necessarily the case. It's all a belief system. At the end of the day, you having a lot of money isn't going to make you or your family worse off. Don't put your family, behind money, but don't minimize the importance of financials. Don't minimize the importance of financial success, because what I've found is that you can have more fun, you can have more cool experiences, you can go on, more cool, fun adventures, you have more options, you have more choices available. You aren't constrained as much when you have money. And when that's the case and when you're with family, it's more fun. Want to go out to eat tonight? No hesitation. Let's go out to eat tonight. That's the choice that it's going to give you, making money. What about this? How many people, when I say money, a part of you loves the word and loves the idea of making a lot of money, but part of you is a little bit, kind of hurts a little bit. And it hurts because there's been so much pain around money. There's been so much stress around money. Who here in this room, myself included, has been stressed out about money? I'll raise my hand first because I have been myself. Who here has been stressed out about money? Who here has been continually stressed out about money? Who here has had money be a source of pain in your life, a source of anxiety in your life, a source of frustration in your life? Myself included, all right? What happens to your subconscious mind when money equals pain? What do you think? Does your subconscious mind want to find the pain and move into the pain? Or does the subconscious mind want to find the pain and move away from the pain? It wants to move away from the pain. And so it's worth examining and spending some time with these questions. Is money, to my subconscious mind, a source of pain? Am I actually self-sabotaging my business and not letting myself take certain action steps because deep down I have an issue with money? As a perfect example, who here growing up stood at the top of the stairs, some variety of this story, stood at the top of the stairs and heard your parents yelling at each other about money? Who here had that experience? I did. My parents stressed about money. My parents weren't super wealthy. What do you think that did to your little subconscious mind as a child? Money is not the best thing in that certain situation and context to that kid, because money's pulling that family apart. What do you think that did to your belief system? These are all things that I really want you to, again, examine and look at. How many people have ever, walked into the house and put a pile of bills down on the counter? And it's like putting a brick weight down on the counter, right? And you just kind of look at them, and every time you look at the counter, you just kind of get a little bit stressed and a little bit freaked out, right? You kind of intentionally avoid the counter, and you walk to the TV like through the bedrooms so you don't need to look at the counter and look at the bills. Why are you avoiding the kitchen? Because money is a source of pain in that context. All of these different obstacles that we face on a daily basis and will continue to face on a daily basis. I'll say it doesn't end. It doesn't end when you build a 6-figure business or a 7-figure business. We all have stuff that comes up. We've had situations with cash flow at SAN where it's, crap, we got to make $100,000 in the next 2 weeks or payroll's in trouble, right? We all have those situations, but you need to be aware of it and aware of how it's affecting you so then you can, again, shift the paradigm and consciously invest your time, your effort, and your energy in reprogramming your subconscious mind to go ahead and have the correct belief system that will allow you to go ahead and once again create success, but then long term keep success moving forward. Does that make sense? Yes. My question to you would be, how much money, or where's your mindset capped, essentially? Where are you capped financially based on where you're at right now? And what's important to understand is that where your mindset is capped is how much money you will make. You'll never be able to break through if you have, let's say, a financial thermostat, a subconscious financial thermostat of being able to make $3,000 per month, and that is your identity. You'll never be able to move beyond $3,000 per month until you first fix the problem that is the cap, and then secondly, execute upon the skill sets to make more than $3,000 a month. If you focus on executing upon the skill sets to make more than $3,000 a month, while your financial thermostat subconsciously is still capped at $3,000 a month, what's going to happen when you're executing the skill sets? Self-sabotage. Something's going to go wrong, and most likely it's going to be you making it go wrong because you're not comfortable with it, because you're trying to stay within your comfort zone, which is a whole nother topic for another day. But understand and get clear right now on where you actually are when it comes to your cap. The strongest force within a human being is to stay congruent with your identity. And that's worth writing down, and it's worth going ahead and noting and trying to figure out where your identity is and where you want your identity to be. As an example, if your identity as a human being is that you are a hard worker, let's say you're an A-player athlete, hard worker, the number one most painful thing is going to be getting an injury of some sort that allows you to not train, that allows you to not work hard, that allows you to not put in the hours, and that allows you to, or keeps you from going ahead and pursuing your passion. How do I know that? Because that was me. If your identity is, let's say, a mother, your number one, let's say your identity is to be the best mother humanly possible, your number one driving force in life is going to continue to elevate that status of being the best mother humanly possible. Every decision you make is going to be a decision to elevate that identity that you have. Every decision people make is to elevate their status, but in the context of what their identity actually is. So as an example, if you're a mother and you want to make a decision to elevate your status, it doesn't mean that you need to buy a Ferrari and that's going to elevate your status. You might buy, the most, regular minivan out there that supports the family and supports the kids and supports the lifestyle and supports your status. And even though, again, it doesn't look like you're elevating status when it comes to the materialistic type thing, if your status is that you want to be the best mother, you are elevating that status to stay congruent with who you are as a person, your identity. You have to get clear on this stuff, or you can never break through and achieve success in your business. Your beliefs are what will determine your actions, and your actions are what will determine your results. Period, end of story. If you believe that when you take action, you can create success, you will take action. If you don't believe, you won't take action, and you'll stay stuck. Back to how you were conditioned. How many people have heard about the evil capitalist? How many people have watched a movie with a bad guy who was rich? Lex Luthor, the Green Goblin, the dude from Titanic. I don't know what his name is, but he was an evil dude, right? The rich evil dude. It's a plot theme that perpetuates itself over and over and over again, And it's a plot theme that subconsciously is going ahead and reinforcing to your belief system that money equals bad. Money is bad. Who wants to be the dude from Titanic? Nobody, right? The dude from Titanic was the rich guy. Therefore, I don't want to be the rich guy. That's how the subconscious mind connects dots. It's not your fault if you have the wrong money mindset right now, all right? Very, very, very few people. I think I'm one of the more lucky people out there, because what I didn't tell you in my story earlier is that I actually never even graduated high school. I was a couple of credits short from graduating high school, and I managed to take a few college courses that they allowed me to take when I was trying to get my GED. Never even graduated high school. I did online high school, and my online high school, the extent of it was having Google open in one tab and my homework open on another, and asking Google the questions and filling in the answers. I liked high school. It was fun. I played tennis all day and hung out on Google. And that helped me. Why did that help me? Because I wasn't put in a box. How many people were put in a box, told to be a certain way in school, told to act a certain way in school, told that you were dumb if you didn't, test out well on some frickin' calculus class that has no meaning whatsoever to your future, had your self-confidence hurt based on being told you were dumb because, you didn't test out on some calculus class that's completely and totally meaningless, then ended up, working a 9-to-5 job because you were told to, went to school, paid tens of thousands of dollars to get a degree that would give you the privilege to go and work for someone else to build their dream while you slave away and make barely anything. Now, how logical does that whole thing sound? It sounds totally backwards to me. Yet still, people do it every single day. Why do people do it every single day? Because they're conditioned to do it every single day. Same holds true with your subconscious mind. However your subconscious mind is conditioned, it'll continue down that path until you make the decision to change that pattern. Again, it's not your fault, but you have to make the decision right now to change that pattern, or else you're going to be in trouble in the future. My question to you would be, how many years ago did you come up with what you can or can't do, and who you are or who you aren't, what you can or can't achieve? How many years ago did your subconscious mind make a decision about who you are, what you can achieve, what you can't achieve, what your purpose in life is, and what you should kind of, essentially go after? Again, back to my story, when I was a security guard, I had lowered my standards. My subconscious mind told me, don't go after it, it might hurt. Why? Because I associated going after my full potential with pain, because I had lost everything. The same holds true with money. Who here has heard about the story of the elephant on the stake? This is a perfect example of people not living up to their potential and not going all out. They took an elephant, and as a baby, they tied it to a stake. And they tied it right here. And as a baby, the elephant wasn't powerful enough to pull the stake out of the ground. And so what happened? The elephant walked here, the rope pulled, the elephant walked back. 5 years of the elephant walking here, not being powerful enough, and walking back. And guess where the elephant stayed, even when it was a full-grown, powerful elephant that could very easily pull that stake out of the ground? Guess where the elephant stayed even when they took the rope off of its leg? Right here. If you want to create success, you have to understand that most likely, if you haven't created the success you're looking for yet, you have some sort of metaphorical rope. And you have to be willing to break that and step over here in order to break free of that chain, that self-induced chain. Who here has seen the video of the ant? Really interesting. They did a study, and then they did a little video of it. They took a piece of paper, they drew a circle on it, and they put the ant in the middle of the circle. So the ant can see the ink on the piece of paper, and it doesn't realize that it can't walk over it. So it walks right up to the edge, and then turns around, walks to the other edge, and turns around, walks to the other edge, and turns around. It could walk right over the ink. Same thing with the elephant. The elephant could break the chain out of the ground as the powerful elephant that it is. I'm not saying you guys are elephants, for the record, but I want you to understand that a lot of us hold on to baggage that keeps us stuck when it doesn't need to. And it's based on what our identity is. What's your money identity? When did you decide that you had that self-imposed limitation? When did you set some sort of goal that actually limits you? Who we believe we are is how we live on a daily basis, all right? This is worth writing down. Who we believe we are is how we live our lives on a daily basis. If you believe that you're a millionaire, you'll live into that identity. If you believe that you make $2,000 a month working a 9 to 5 and you're always stressed about money, you will live into that identity. We make decisions to reinforce and elevate the status of whatever identity that we internally have, to elevate the status of our identity, even if we don't like that identity. And that's the critical distinction I want you to get. That's where self-sabotage comes in. You don't need to like the identity. If it is your identity, you will make decisions to elevate the status of the identity. Does that make sense? And I know I'm getting a little bit heavier here, but we have to cover this because we have another 2 days of training, and if we don't cover this, what value are you going to get out of the training? None, all right? If you believe you've always been overweight, or if you believe you've always been big-boned, what are you going to be? Big bone. You're going to be overweight. It's the subconscious mind, all right? If you believe that you've always been broke, and it's just kind of the way it is, what are you going to be? You're going to be broke. It's the subconscious mind. If your mindset is that, who in here would love to just not stress about money at the end of the month? Show of hands. Everyone? Okay, now let me challenge you here. What do you think your subconscious mind is doing when you say that all I want to do is be able to pay the bills? What do you think it's doing? It's trying to figure out how it can make just enough to pay the bills. Now, I don't know about you, but if at the end of the month I have just enough to pay the bills, I am stressed the fuck out, for lack of a better term. Because day 30 of 31 comes around, and I'm going, holy shit, do I have enough money? Am I going to be good? Are we fine? I'm stressed out. If you just want to make enough money to pay the bills, you will just make enough money to pay the bills, and you will continue to stress yourself out. Again, I come back to the question, who do you need to become in order to go ahead and achieve the success that you're looking to achieve? Both on a skill set and a tactical level, and also on a subconscious, who you are with your operating system level. What beliefs do you have that need to shift? And my challenge to you here is to make the leap, to recondition your subconscious mind, to actively put work into reconditioning your subconscious mind on a daily basis. We've already talked about the power and the importance of working on mindset, but again, it is the thing. It's the difference between the person who makes $1,000 a month and $10,000 a month. People don't want to hear that because people want there to be a loophole, a commission loophole, a traffic hack, something of the sort. Mindset is the thing. So how do we recondition our subconscious mind? Affirmations. Who here has heard about affirmations? Let me stand in front of the mirror. I am a money-making machine. I am a money-making machine. I am a wealth creation machine. I am not broke. I have $0 in my bank account, but I am not broke. I'm not against affirmations, but without action, without you actually doing something, affirmations won't do anything in your life. They can help you a little bit when it comes to subconscious, and it's kind of one of those things where something is better than nothing, but at the end of the day, it's going to require you to take some time to get clear on what your blocks are and then systematically overcome them. How did you get into the stuck state? From nonstop conditioning. How might you get out of the stuck state? From nonstop conditioning. The number one thing that I listen to most often, if you guys want to write this down and go buy it, you can. You can ask my girlfriend in the back of the room, and it's 100% true, is Dan Kennedy's Wealth Attraction course. That's the secret. It's not Russell Brunson's marketing course. I love Russell. I've been through all of Dagan's stuff. I don't listen to Dagan Smith stuff over and over again. I don't listen to the marketing gurus over and over again. The stuff I continually repeat and go through over and over and over again is the subconscious programming. That's the stuff that you need to constantly reinforce to your subconscious mind and realize that money's everywhere. There's no such thing as a seven-figure earner who's different than you in any way other than skill sets and belief systems, all right? Another really good way to reprogram your subconscious mind to create more money, this is totally contradictory to what you may believe, is to separate with money. Napoleon Hill has a saying, and it goes something along the lines of, the hole that you receive through is also the hole you give through. And so if you aren't receiving enough yet, if you start giving more, that hole becomes bigger and you can receive more. What happens subconsciously if every single time you separate from money, you contract and you freak out? Where are you at? I mean, it's a good thermostat, it's a good check, it's a good gauge. If every single time you spend $1,000, you freak out, what do you think your money mindset is? Do you think you have a little bit of scarcity? Do you think there's a little bit of, something in there that you might want to identify and fix? Where if you have the abundance mindset, you spend $1,000, what's the belief system? I can very easily make that $1,000 back. I can very easily create $1,000 because money always replenishes itself, which is where I operate from and which is where I come from on a daily basis. Train the subconscious mind to be okay with separating with money, and it'll be easier for your subconscious mind to accept money because there isn't pain surrounding money. Does that make sense? Also, surrounding yourself with the right people. Jim Rohn's famous quote, you're the average of the 5 people you hang out around most. What if the 5 people that you hang out around most won't spend $4 to go out to dinner? You're in trouble. What if the 5 people you hang around most are always looking to go to McDonald's to live off the dollar menu? You're in trouble. Surround yourself with people who are on the same journey as you. That's the power of coming to events just like this. That's the power of going ahead and surrounding yourself with people like you are right now and with people who are also where you want to be. If you can in any way, shape, or form find people that are where you want to be, you need to find a way to surround yourself with those people because you'll see that their level of thinking is different. Their level of operating is different. It's not that we have some magic solo-ad vendor that just prints money for us on demand. It's that we think different, we have a different relationship to money, and because we have a different relationship to money, we can then take different action steps, and then those action steps produce results, and then those results produce confidence, and then the confidence that we have allows us to take more action, and the cycle continues. If we were all blocked up about money, we would never take any action. Now, what is money truly at a core level? What is money truly? I heard from someone over here who's been at our event, and I learned this from Mike Dillard a long time ago. It's dirty money, right? It's dirty money with assigned meaning. Are you going to let dirty money rule your life? Are you going to let dirty money determine whether or not you're happy? Yes or no? How much money you have is a result of the people that you've impacted and the habits that you currently have. If you only have $1,000 in the bank, it's because you haven't impacted enough people, and it's because of your habits that you take action on a daily basis. That's all it is. Now again, it's not your fault if you're in that situation. You've been conditioned from a very young age, but it is your fault if you leave this event and you don't take responsibility when it comes to changing it. And that's what I want to be crystal clear on. That's what I want each and every single one of you to take it upon yourself as your duty to change this. Because the truth is that it's selfish for you not to change it. Because once again, the result of how much money you make, what's the result? Again, tongue-tied. How much money you have is a byproduct of how many people you've impacted. And so if you don't have any money, it's selfish for you not to figure out how to go make more money and impact more people in the process and change more people's lives. You're limiting yourself and your ability to change people's lives and impact people with a scarcity mindset. Now, what kind of paradigm shift is that for a lot of people in this room? Is that a little bit of a different way of thinking? My own, not taking it upon myself to shift my belief system is impacting other people because I'm not impacting them. And that's how I want you to start to think. So here's a few questions to ask yourself. When you have an unlimited amount of money, what will you do with it? When you have an unlimited amount of money, what will you do with it? And this isn't for me to answer for you, it's for you to answer yourself. When you have an unlimited amount of money, who would you help? And who could you impact who needs help? And write it down. If you have an unlimited amount of money, who could you impact that needs help? Their needs need to be met, and you'll be able to help them through having more money. When you have an unlimited amount of money, what could you do to give back to your community? What charities could you support? Who could you impact on a further basis than you are right now? You're not going to be able to impact any of those people. And how many people had someone or something, when I said someone or charity, come to mind a moment ago? So everybody in this room wants to make an impact financially, right? You're not going to be able to make that impact if you don't make the shift subconsciously and get yourself out of the scarcity mindset and out of the mindset of limiting beliefs. Those people will remain wherever they are without the help that you could provide if you got out of your own way subconsciously. My challenge to you is to break free and to play all out in your business. To play all out on a daily basis and to understand whatever cap that you've put on yourself, that's exactly what happened. You put that cap on yourself. There's nothing different between me and you and Ryan, who spoke earlier, and Fernie, who spoke a couple minutes ago, Terry Lamb. There's nothing different between me and you. We're human beings. The only difference is the cap that we've put on ourselves, and as a result, the action steps and the skill sets we've learned. Who here wants to play life all out? Really, who here wants to play life all out? I got about 12 people fired up. Over here? Now a serious question, who here wants to get to the point where you're 100 years old, looking back, telling yourself you could have done more? That's a zero. No one wants to get to that point. That's the definition of hell, right? If you're a great person and you make more money, what's going to happen? You're going to impact more people. You're going to change more people's lives. You're going to produce more good. You're going to help more people come to solutions that they need. Potentially change the world. Every single individual out there that's changed the world is a human being. Yet they've affected so many people's lives in positive ways because they didn't hold on to their baggage. They didn't let their baggage keep them from creating the impact that they could potentially have. And at a core level here, what I really want you to get is that life can truly be limitless if you just let it be limitless. Life can truly be limitless if you just get out of your own way. Life can truly be limitless if you just understand that the only cap that you have is the cap that you've put on yourself. And the only thing that's holding you back is the rope that you could very easily break and step over. And all of us in here have that rope to some extent, but all of us need to be aware of it, and all of us need to overcome that so we can impact more people and help change more people's lives. Does that make sense? Yes. Now I want a few people, maybe one person to start, one other person, so we can stay on time. And if you don't want to get vulnerable, that's totally fine, but who here is willing to share a few of the blocks that you have when it comes to money that you've just realized and that you've just noticed through this presentation? Who here is willing to get vulnerable? Anyone? Lusandra? Come on up, Lusandra. I saw you first.
I ain't scared. So here we are. My husband and son are going on a trip next year to Europe. And this has a $10,000 price tag. And I'm sitting here, when I signed them up, I got nauseous. I'm like, oh my God, how am I gonna come up with this money? And what you just shared is, I have put that cap on myself that this is a problem, but I have the ability to solve it. It's all making the mental shift. So I appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Would you like to share? Go ahead and let everybody know your name before you share. Mic drop.
Sorry about that. I'm just so short. My name's Sue Steinbach, and my husband got into internet marketing, and I supported him on it. And then he passed away. And I realized, I had an aha moment that was his gift to me. I have a son that's disabled that went to college and went to law school, got his law degree, but couldn't get a job as an attorney. And he's got $200,000 in debt. And he's my biggest why of why I'm doing this. And I just went back and had my coaching session, and everything everyone's been saying has really resonated this weekend. And I earlier didn't want to go all in, but I made that mind shift that money is money and it comes and goes, and if you don't want to invest in yourself, you're not going to get anywhere in life, and you're not going to reach the dreams that you want to dream. And so I went all in. Awesome. And so, where will all the money come to do it? It's going to come. So this has really helped. And you're talking about mindset. You really have to change your mindset and realize, like you said, the scarcity, that if you keep thinking you're not going to have the money, you're not going to have the money.
Exactly.
And so I'm going to have the money.
Awesome.
I may have to go back to work, but I'm going to have it.
Congratulations. Awesome job. And one little micro lesson I'll share before I get off stage here, because I'm over time, is that at the end of the day, the minute you make the decision to do something subconsciously, your subconscious mind will figure it out. And so I'm glad that you brought that up. The minute you get crystal clear on what you want and make the decision to do it, your subconscious mind will figure out how to turn whatever you decide to do into a reality. So for now, in closing, I just really want to be clear that I want each and every single one of you to know that life truly can be limitless. And the only caps we've put on ourselves are the caps that we've put on ourselves. And at this event, my challenge to you is to challenge yourself to break free of that cap. Does that sound good? Yes. Awesome. I appreciate all of you. Thank you.